So I just want to share a little bit about what's been happening with me the last month or so, or month and a half. Um, my editing business has been very quiet. I think I've had like two small jobs, so it's been very challenging. And in the beginning, I was like pretty frantic and panicking and going online and going on to Freelancer and all sorts of places, applying here and there for jobs, which I haven't stopped doing. But eventually you become exhausted with being frantic and panicking, and um, I just knew that the universe wasn't going to come through straight away. So you get to a point where you surrender and you allow and you accept what's happening, and then I've realized that the last since the divorce, or since I started my editing business, which was a month before my husband broke it to me that he didn't love me, and then it came out that there was another woman. Um, that was in 2016. I've been working really hard, and as a freelancer, I didn't take many breaks. If a job came in, I would work on it because I needed the money, and occasionally I would get a break here and there. But it was very difficult. And then I started working as a sub editor at a newsroom in 2022, and I resigned that job at the end of last year because of burnout. And there I would get like maybe a week off, but it wasn't enough. So what's happened this last month is I've actually had a break, and although every day I pick up my computer and I sit and I do a bit of work, most of the time I'm just writing because what else do I have to do? And I do apply for different positions and do networking, but it's been very easygoing, and some days I just do housework or socializing, go and have coffee with a friend. And last week I went and watched a play with a friend, and I've also just had so much mental space. And like on the weekends, being on your own in the beginning is tough, but after a while you start to feel like kind of free, like you can do whatever you like. And I'm reading books like I haven't been reading properly for like about 10 years. And when you're editing all day long, it's very hard to read in your spare time. But I've just been reading books and loving it, and doing crafts, like I'm learning how to do embroidery and I don't know, all sorts of things, sewing, sticking bling on outfits for dancing. Um, yeah, and it's just been so healing, and it's like this depression is lifted that I've carried for years. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm always cheerful and I'm always happy, but this inability to take a proper break has been a problem for years and years, and this has forced me to have this holiday. And although I haven't gone away, I've gone on some gorgeous hikes and walks and adventures. Like today, I went with a group of ladies. We walked down Geba Gorge. Well, not all the way down. It was very muddy, and the the gorge, the waterfall was like crazy after all the rains. But just being in nature and yeah, the thing with being in nature is you can't just go and sit for 5 minutes and expect to feel changed. You have to go and sit. And in the beginning, it's really hard because your mind is working, because we're so used to being in our heads, and your mind is working and working and working. And then eventually something starts to ease, and then you start to feel different, like you start to sense the nature vibe around you. You start to pick up all the little details and nuance, and then your whole body starts to ease. You can't do it with a book or your phone. You gotta go there, just you, and sit and do nothing. And in the beginning, your monkey mind will be working hard, but then after a while, something starts to change, and then something clicks into place, and it's very healing. So I just wanted to share how when we think our situation is dire, when we think we're on the brink of collapse, we may actually be exactly where we are supposed to be, and we may actually be healing and becoming the person that we're meant to be. And I believe that the right opportunity is going to come along, and I am going to get busy again. But before that happens, I've had a chance to renew my strength, to clear my mind so that my mind is sharp again, to relax and tap into my creative soul. The right brain, which I've just been listening to a video on anxiety and how when we tap into the creative right brain, it actually helps us to be less anxious. This woman healed her chronic anxiety just by drawing. She didn't take medication or anything. I'm not saying medication is actually very good, but for whoever, I mean, it doesn't work for everyone, but tapping into that creative part, the right brain, is going to heal that, cause that burner, that constant activity, because when we constantly under deadlines and having tasks and this, once this is done, then you've got that to do, and then that, then that, and that, and it never ends. You're always in your left brain, you're in your thought mode, and you're not in your creative mode. So, yeah, so I've just started writing a self-love tarot deck, and I'm also rewriting some of my older books. But yeah, I mean, I'm not always in the right space, and sometimes I've been consumed by worry, but I'm learning to trust, and I'm learning to let go and surrender. And I just wanted to share that, and I hope it helps you. Thank you for listening.